All right. Hello. So I'm going to be describing on how to write a research paper based on a given survey and essentially project 6 on the steps on how we did it. So first, there was the decision on selecting a topic that interests you. So for us, we needed to pick 3 topics that were of interest to us, technological research topics specifically, and that was 3D bioprinting, cryptocurrency, and autonomous vehicles for myself. We submitted this, and the class majority voted on fully autonomous vehicles. So after selecting a topic, we needed to do a little bit more research on the topic chosen, which was autonomous vehicles, on the questions or concerns that you may have about the topic. There should be about 8 questions to be given to your contacts. So when writing a question, it is crucial to give background information on what you want to find out first and then to ask the question. And you need to do this at least 8 times, 8 questions you can think of. And go ahead and post that on SurveyMonkey with at least 5 answers from your peers to select from and how they feel about the certain topic. So my original questions were, what is a feature that interests you most in electric cars? In an event of an accident, who's held responsible? Do you see how these questions are very broad and really straight to the point? I needed to ask what I wanted to know first before I could ask this question. These were very broad. So of course I redid these questions and I'll just go ahead and show them. So in SurveyMonkey, I asked 8 questions stating what I want to find out first. And then it's crucial that you ask at least 5 non-biased questions to choose from. And then I went ahead and I sent the SurveyMonkey link to 15 online participants when completed, and add a short description to the survey they will be taking and send it. And I went ahead and I compiled all the questions onto a document and I printed it. And it was a paper copy, and I distributed it to another different 10 participants. And here are my modified questions. These were the same questions that I posted on SurveyMonkey, and these are the 8 questions that I gave to the 10 participants. You can see here that my questions changed dramatically. You can see question 1, an all autonomous car is controlled by an onboard computer that has numerous safety features such as collision avoidance, self-stopping, keeping a safe distance between cars, and etc. This is important to add what you want to know about the question. And then after this, I went ahead and asked, how do you feel about your safety in a fully autonomous car as a driver or passenger? And this is when I gave the 5 decisions. And this is how I not a broad question to really generalize and find out what you want to talk about first. You want to give a slight background to what you're asking, so the surveyor has a generalized idea on what to think about when asking these questions. And the results from the survey, you compile your findings and place it in an Excel spreadsheet, state the question and the number and the given answers for each one from your online survey, and calculate how many people selected one answer from each question from SurveyMonkey and the given paper survey. There should have been a total of 25 people. And after that, you're going to divide by the people that took the survey by the total on what they selected for each question. So highlight the total percentage, make a pie chart indicating the percentages given, and you should have a pie chart. So let's take a look. So these are my results. So see how I went ahead and asked the question from question 5, and I gave the answers, and you can see here online. So from the 15 participants that I sent out online, 2 people selected very likely, 5 people selected likely, and so on. The paper survey, which was given to 10 people, 6 people selected likely, 2 people selected very unlikely. We went ahead and gave the total, and here's the total people that answered. So yes, that was 25 people. And then after that, you want to go ahead and divide your total by the answers to give the percentage of each one. And from these percentages, go ahead and highlight this whole section and place it into this pie chart. This pie chart shows you the percentage on what people selected. And as you can see here, it was likely. Likely was the majority of 44%. So it's easy to read this, indicating which ones of your participants preferred based on your given answers. Now, writing a research paper. So first, describe the situation. In that case, it was basically the autonomous vehicle, on how people are reckless, how they feel safer, and what are the safety features about it. Second, describe the questions and why you selected those questions. And why you selected those questions based on your research findings. Third, pick 5 of your best questions you would like to talk about and why you decided those 5 out of the 8 questions, and why you decided to remove 3. For each of the 5 selecting questions will have an intro, body, and conclusion. And each body paragraph will contain your findings, as well as comparing them to another research done, as well as your predictions that you have made. Make sure to add the pie charts and describe them. And at the end of all of that, conclude all of your findings. What did you discover? What could you have done differently, and overall concerns? Let's take a look at the paper. So here's my research paper. I wrote a lot. Here is the introduction for it. It was just the generalized idea of describing autonomous vehicles, and how I created the survey, on why I asked these questions and what I was going to do. And in this next paragraph, I chose the 8 questions that I made, all of the questions, all 8, and all the questions, and then here we have the 5 questions that I selected and why I selected those 5 questions in particular, and removed 2, 4, and 7. For this reason being, I did not select 2 and 4 and 7 because I felt like it was repetitive to 1, 3, 5, 6, and 8. They were just asking the same question in different ways, such as about safety, and I feel like 1, 3, 5, 6, and 8 were my best questions, and I chose to elaborate more about them. As you can see here, question 1, this was the introduction, and the body paragraph, and the conclusion, describing the results given, as well as describing another research done. And then over here, question 3, the introduction and the body paragraph. The introduction was basically the question on why you selected this too, and it was also based off of your results and why you asked this question in particular based on your research. And I did this in all of the 5 questions that I selected, and 6. So yes, this was done for each of the 5 questions. Each of the 5 questions needed an introduction, body, and a conclusion. And make sure to add your Excel sheets and graphs, and this is the concluding paragraph for your entire research, basically saying out of your 25 participants, there decisions that each one of your participants made and to what I could have done differently. So in this case, I said I could have sent my survey out to other people who not only lived in Hawaii, because I feel like there would be a more broader sense of a broader response rather than keeping it only here in Hawaii. And it was just concluding all of my findings and what I could have done differently. And that was it. So, thank you.